Hello. Hi, is that? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we're all right.
Yeah, sound. Okay. Is Ryan joining us or is he?
No, I think he's just waiting in the wings to tell us off when we're naughty.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay then. So I'll do the introduction. So welcome to another Follow Out stream. So obviously we had Wesley, Robbo, and Ryan on before, and that was about the Beto signing and also about Iwobi potentially going. So yeah. So anyway, so we're going to head into the preview for the Doncaster game. And if you do like this channel, obviously like and subscribe. And let's go into it. So Wednesday night, 8 o'clock in Doncaster on a summer's day. How's everyone feeling?
I shouldn't be scared, but I am just absolutely terrified of what if we can't beat a League Two team? What happens then?
What happens then? Yeah, I mean, we can't afford not to win, to be honest with you. It's like, obviously, that's why we're on Sky. Let's be brutally honest. That's why they want us. That's why we're here, to be on Sky, because they want to see an upset, don't they?
Yeah, and I think out of everyone playing, the most likely upset would be us. But Doncaster are rock bottom of League Two. They've not won. They've played 5 games. They've not won one. They have drew one though, so they're already technically doing better than us.
Yeah, we played 3 and lost all 3. So yeah. I don't know if everyone's seen the social media what Doncaster Rovers have done. So the actual the engagement officer at Doncaster has been on quite a few Everton sites like the Cutters and Everton Spare Tickets on Facebook, and he's actually done a little video that he's sent to everyone. It's a generic thing of how to get to Doncaster Stadium and stuff like that. But to be fair, it looks like it's a brand new stadium in it. So
yeah.
But
it looks like they're quite excited to have it, especially because they're on Sky as well. They're going to want to put on a pretty good show, and I like that though. I like that they're doing that kind of outreach to the away fans and stuff like that, kind of showing themselves off. It's nice that for lower league clubs. I appreciate things like that.
Actually, to be honest with you, it shows a lot of Premier League grounds at Premier League clubs up, to be fair, in the way they have done that. I mean, it was such a class, I think, the way what they've done. Introduce it. It was for the home fans, but there is some away fan element, and obviously how to get there, where to park, what the away stands like. So yeah, obviously just a reminder for everyone who is going, like me, just have to get them there, that it's going to be on reserved seating tomorrow. So we just need to make as much noise as possible in the away end, really, and try and carry this team yet again. It's going to be another long season, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a bit of optimism on the horizon, though.
Is there?
Yeah,
I think so. I think with Beto coming in today, Chimiti, Jack Harrison when he's fit, I think it's got McNeil when he's fit. I think we're going to have options on the right and left, and we're going to have options up front.
Yeah, I think this Beto signing it's got me feeling a bit more optimistic now. I'm not going to say I'm excited or anything like that just yet, but he is a decent player.
Where's Amy gone? Is that my Wi-Fi? Is it?
No.
Okay, so it's not just obviously I apologise. I'm in a hotel room, so if my Wi-Fi does cut out, that's the reason, because it's hotel Wi-Fi and it's not always the best. So right, let's move on. So Beto, I mean, I think it's been covered. I mean, it's a great signing, and I think Ryan was saying that he has chose. Robbie was saying, I think he chose to come to this club, hasn't he? So got to get behind. Does he start tomorrow, or does he play?
I think he got. I think he should need to be put in the team, at least on the bench. get some minutes under his belt and show the Evertonians what he's capable of. Because let's be honest, if we can't go to Doncaster and get a win, then it is going to be a long, hard season, isn't it? You know what I mean? And
I think it's still going to be a long, hard season anyway, to be honest. This is Everton we're talking about.
It's no disrespect to Doncaster, but we should be going there as a Premier League club, and the record that they've got at the moment, we should be turning them over by a good scoreline.
Yeah, but then again, you can also argue the fact look at the records that we've got at the moment. It's sad, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to get too cocky anymore because I think we've gone into games like this and thinking, we'll turn them over and go to the next round and then go home, or everyone's happy and we're all balls in the cup, the what do you call it? The numbers in the cup done. You know what I mean? Let's look to the next round. But we've got to be. I don't know if we've got to be realistic and kind of say, it's not a foregone conclusion. You hope it would be.
It never is.
No, I'm just going to be the eternal optimist, I think, or negative, to be honest with you, because at the moment, as I say, Beto's come in. That Tremuti, he needs to get game time, and is that a perfect opportunity for him to start the game?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think we'll see Young get switched out for Mikalenko, so Mikalenko can get that game time back in after his injury or whatever was up with him. I think Tremuti will start over Mope up top. Definitely. Yeah. I think Dyche has seen it now with Mope. I don't think he's really going to get much chance to start, but if he does get any chance to start tomorrow, could also be the opportunity for Mope to start and build confidence, I suppose. If he can score our goals and feel a bit more confident, then he might do. But
I don't think he'd be there. I don't think he'd be there at the end of the window.
You hope so. Yeah. But who's going to come in for him realistically?
Well, we've got Tremuti now as a backup. I think DCL is going to fall second fiddle to Beto or Beto, however we say his name, because of how much we're going to pay for Beto. I know we've not paid anything for him yet, but when we do pay, it's quite a high fee. So you'd think that he's going to be our number one starter, and then we've still got two other strikers then who we won't need to have Mope sat there.
You say, sorry, Amy, you say that it's quite a high fee. Right, 28.5 million for a 25-year-old striker in this day and age of football is not.
Yeah, to be fair, it is pretty low in it. I mean, in terms of what Everton have in the bank.
Yeah,
which is nothing, to be fair.
It's just nothing, yeah. But it's if he comes in and he scores a shitload of goals, it'll be a snip and. He'll have a sell-on value, which is what we haven't had for players for a few years.
Selwell's kind of idea about it now, and he wants these players where he knows we can sell them on in a few years and make profits off them as well. He's doing profit and sustainability as well as fitting a team out in it.
I think everyone's got to start realising these deals aren't being done by Ken Wright. I think people have started to realise now that I'm not a Kent Wright lover by any stretch of imagination. I hate Mashiri. I dislike Kent Wright because what he's done to this club. I do, but I'm not. I am going to go out and defend him, and I'm going to say, I think it is now Farewell actually being allowed to do his job.
Yeah.
And look at the stuff that we're actually starting to get in because he has been given free rein. Because I think. He came in, I think, like Marcel Bands before him, which was the patsy from Mashiri, and the season excuses. You never heard from him. Farewell's done the same. I'm not going to beat around the bush and, systematically between Ken Wright and Mashiri and Denise have systematically destroyed this club to what we've become at the moment. And hopefully now they've seen sense and they let Farewell take the reins.
Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do when you've got a director of football is allow them to be a director of football, don't you? But I think if we're looking at Doncaster now, that is a good time to get our youth players through. Like Tom Cannon, it looks like we're not going to let him go out this window at least, maybe in January, but I think they're going to try and keep hold of him by the looks of things. I know Preston wants him again, and they love him. Their fans absolutely adore him.
But again, it was...
Go on, Matt.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
No,
I just say, I think, again, it's another stupid move, because he went out, didn't he, in January, when we had quite literally no one in replacement, but we still let him go out. And this time they've stopped it, and then seeing what we've got towards the end, and if he can afford to leave, let him go.
Yeah,
we will
I think
do.
that's smart from us, though, isn't it? Like, we're just waiting to see if it is worth letting him go. But I think we're more likely to play our second team, if we do have a second team. I know we've not really got the depth for a full second team, but having the likes of Dobbin back in there, because I thought he was all right on the weekend.
He played well.
Yeah,
Dobbin
I think he was a bit
well.
unsettled every now and again, but obviously I said that, sat there watching him, that they're going to go for the kid who hasn't played Premier League football before. They are going to try and unsettle him a bit and stay attached to him, and they were, but I think he held his own quite well. I think obviously there's work to be done with him, but he's
the thing is with Dobbin is that, as far as I'm aware, he's a striker, but he looked comfortable out on the left.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you both got the same sort of feeling.
Yeah, I expected him to start in the middle and have Danjuma. I think there was a point in the first half where it looked as though they'd kind of swapped over themselves a bit. I don't know whether they'd been told to do that or what, but he seemed pretty confident and pretty... It didn't even seem like he was like overly excited. Like, you'd expect some kids to go in there and be so excited about playing the first game that they're kind of not really fully in the right mentality, but he wasn't. He seemed to be quite strong and ready to go in there and that. And
I totally agree. I mean, as I say, I think it is going to be the game where I hate using the word, but a so-called free hit is what I'm saying, to start, given the I mean, no disrespect to Doncaster and any stretch of imagination. By the way, just to make that very clear. But yeah, I do think it is an ideal opportunity, to play a few kids, let them get some match fitness, get them to know the team, because I think this is what we are lacking, is the youth element with a little bit of backup that we're definitely going to need this season. So throw in the likes of Cannon and Dobbin, and let's see where they are at.
Plus the fact that we're getting players that we are getting excited about and have not been getting game time and being allowed to leave for buttons. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, we can't let Tom Cannon go when we haven't, as fans, we haven't really seen what he's capable of. And if we sell him, because I heard Preston wanted to buy him, didn't want to loan him again.
Yeah.
We can't let him go for something like 3 million, because
you're better off getting a season out of him now, aren't you? Where he's coming off the bench, or like he is back up, and letting that 3 million rise up to 10, 15 million if he's playing really well, and then getting that bit of return from the academy. Because apart from Anthony Gordon, what massive return have we really had out of our academy? We've not
in recent times anyway.
Yeah,
to be honest,
in the past 3 years, when we look at our worst times, which has been this season, the season before, and the season before that, we've not really produced anything absolutely dazzling where you think, there we go, they're going to be the next such and such a player. So hopefully, if you can get our youth squad now getting confidence, and most of them have played at League One and Championship level, if you put them against the bottom of the League 2 team, that is going to do wonders for their confidence, just being able to play proper professional football.
And being in the first team, and as well, I think you've made a really good point there. 3 million is what buttons to that. Not in the grand scheme of things, 3 million is not even worth it. It'd be cheaper. It's just cheaper to keep him as a backup as well, just in case we do have injuries, and we know Everton, they get injuries.
Yeah.
Did you know there was a stat out there? I don't know whether you mentioned it before I came on. The last 2 times Everton have played Doncaster, they went on to win the league.
Not going to happen this season, is it?
It's not going to happen this season, but yeah, the last 2 times they played them, they've gone on to win the league. But they say I think it's an ideal game to bring in the likes of the Michelenkos, possibly push Ashley Young onto the right hand side and play him there. You know, we all know he can play left or right. Get a few players in and play them in the middle of the park. That, you know, drop it no nanas. Get the fringe players and a few young lads, and give them a sniff of first team football, and go. Obviously, we need to get the win to build confidence. So there needs to be a few first teamers in there. Yeah. But ultimately, it should be a team mixed up of first teamers and, let's say, youth.
Yeah, as a sensible approach, and I do hope he takes it. And you know what, I'm not for rest that, you know, say, you know, such and such, like Pickford needs a break already. We're 3 games in. You know, it's ridiculous. No, when they do that, I hate it. I hate them. I appreciate the full team, but what?
I think that João Virginia, our second goalkeeper now, is going to be the one that we want to push through as the Pickford replacement. So we need early cup games at least, I say, because I don't think
he's been about though, hasn't he, for about. How long has he been at Everton now? About 4 years.
He's 23 now. He's been playing there since he was about 18, 19. I think.
Say, because he's been sent out on loan just consistently every season, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's now or never then. Well, keep saying that, but as I say, you know, I just don't think. Obviously, I've seen a lot, and people think there's going to be this walk in the park. And you know, I think last year who did we play? Who was it, like, in the early rounds? Not Lincoln. It was Fleet. Was it Fleetwood? Did we play Fleetwood? Yeah, Fleetwood. Yeah. And to be fair, you know, that was a tough game, because you got to remember, again and again, no derogatory turns to either Fleetwood or lower league opposition, but it is one of the, you know, having a big Premier League club come to their ground, you know, it is like a cup final. I know that sounds like a cliche. It is their cup. Yeah. And, you know, front of the TV cameras, they are going to up their level. You know what I mean?
It's like, do you know, like towards the end of the season when we finished playing and the Championship is still playing, League 1, League 2 are still playing, I watched some of that over the summer, and, you know, like when they were doing the playoffs and stuff like that, and you see some of these League 2 sides and the style of football they play compared to the Premier League is such a big gap. It's like they take the chances, it's long balls, it's physical, it's hard, because that's how they've got to play in their league. And I don't think when Premier League teams play these lower league teams, we expect it to be like that physical. We're very clinical and quite like tactical. I know that's a terrible word to use, obviously, with football, but I think it is very different with how clinical we are and how unclinical they are. And I think you'll find that gap. It'll take a while for them to come together and start playing a similar enough game to be playing a game against each other fairly. And I think it'll take us a minute to settle down into playing their style of football and then playing ours as well.
I think it was the guy who supports Leeds, who comes on the channel regular, Robbie, is it? And he said, when you go down to the Championship, because you're the Leeds or you're a Leicester or you know, a big team that came down from the Premiership, every team in that league, you know, instantly raises their game when they come to play you. So that's why it's so hard to do what Burnley have done.
It's their big day out, isn't it? Like, if totally. Heaven forbid we ever went down, if we were playing, like, I speak to a fair few Preston fans, and they said, like, they want to beat Blackpool every season when Blackpool obviously were still in the Championship, but they.
Oh, there you go. Amy, you cut out then. You still there, Amy? Right, can you repeat what you were going to... Right, she's just... So yeah, as I say, I think I was just trying to say that obviously we are going to be a big scalp for lower league oppositions. Or is she coming back in?
I'm so sorry. I think they've changed my Wi-Fi out for Jeff's Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on.
You need to start putting 50p in a meter. So, Colin, what are you saying, Amy?
I can't even remember now. I was too busy stressing about my Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, they just want to beat us because we're solidified. We are a solidified Premier League team. Obviously, we've never been relegated out of the Premier League. So for us to go and play the likes of Preston or Doncaster and stuff like that, they will want to beat us to be able to say we have a chance at doing that every season. We have a chance to go into the Premier League.
Yeah. Whereas I think Connor about Leeds, apparently, whoever Connor is.
Was it?
Yeah.
I know someone said it. I didn't know who said it, but I thought it was Robbie, the actual Leeds fan. But yeah, I mean, like I say, you know, when you play lower league, that's why you have FA Cup upsets. Is that they raise the game massively, whereas like, you know, the Premier League team, whatever, like us tomorrow might go there and think, you know, this is going to be a walk in the park for us. The mentality, they might not be switched on, and that's when you get your upsets because these teams raise the games.
Because if you think about us as well, our issues usually come. I always say this, if football was a 70-minute game, Everton would be fine because we switch off after 60, 70 minutes and that's when we get laxy-daisy and that's the issue. And if they spot we've switched off, then it's an upset and they've scored a goal. And what if we can't score another two? Then that's the issue, and that's how games are lost, obviously.
So, you know, bearing that in mind with what we said before about a mix of youth and a few first teams in there, what would your first choice 11 be tomorrow?
Well, obviously start Michael Keane, obviously.
Would you play Michael Keane?
No, of course I wouldn't play Michael Keane, but we all know he's going to get a game, won't he?
Well, considering we've got a severe lack of centre-half options, we've only got Branthwaite and Godfrey to choose from centre-half. Then
but why not?
Why not drop him? We don't want Branthwaite getting injured.
No, he was really, really good, by the way, on the weekend. I've not been on any of the streams about them. He was brilliant.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, all Evertonians since the beginning of the season have been going, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? With Dice kept on sticking with, you know, his favourite. And you think, it's no coincidence that we've been leaking goals because of who's in the centre-half pairing.
Yep.
You know,
who's that going, Wes? I don't know who you're talking about.
It rhymes with Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean's probably better than him.
Yeah, probably. Imagine if we get rid of him in this window. How amazing would that be? Not going to happen, but
I can't believe we now have a lack of centre-half options. This time last season, we were overflowing with centre-halves. And now we've got none again.
Yeah, but we still only had two decent ones.
So we'll just go through some of the comments. So obviously, if you do like this channel, obviously like and subscribe. So Mr. Blee's guys team is Pickford, Mikolenko, Branthwaite, Godfrey, Patterson, Onyango, Garner, Dobbin, Danjuma, and Tremetti. So that's a mixture, isn't it? Of that, and I think that's a decent team, to be honest. But I think maybe I think you're probably right, Amy. As much as I'd love to see Pickford, I don't think he will start.
Swap Pickford out for Virginia, and that is the team that's going to start tomorrow. I think.
Big shout.
I think that he's not going to start with Branthwaite. I think he's going to start with Keane and possibly Godfrey. But then that Tarkowski's the standing skipper, so does he drop the standing skipper?
Well, yeah, you have to, don't you?
Really?
It's a tactic, yeah. And as I say, as I say, you've got to try and change it and trying to find the winning team. And you've got to do the rough with the smooth. And I think you do have to take you need to give the youth a shout.
Yeah,
Definitely give some of the youth players a go out, but you can't fill it full of youth.
putting Onana in there, I kind of agree with that because he's got the potential to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and go like, I'm taking charge of this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I agree with the Onana one. On Yango, yeah, another one I'd agree with. Garner, possibly not, because he's one of our better players. We just don't need any more injuries.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an interesting point by head of the Blues. We didn't play, Brownfield didn't play week 1 because he didn't have a proper pre-season. So do you treat this game like a pre-season in a way? And you know what?
Brownfield had been playing Champions League football, though, last season. So how much of a pre-season did he really need?
I'm with you, mate. I don't buy into that. He didn't have a proper pre-season. He played in the Euros under 21, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's pre-season enough, isn't it? Like he's played in a tournament and won the tournament.
Yeah, he didn't lose any fitness levels. His fitness levels wouldn't have dropped off in the space of like a couple of weeks between when the Euro under 21s finished and the season started again. His fitness levels wouldn't have dropped off that much. So
I think that's one of the things that really irritates me about Dyche. Like, I don't have many criticisms for him right now. His subs is one. That irritates the life out of me. I'm begging him to bring them on. And then with this whole fitness thing, he wants to be 150% sure, never mind 110. And when we're needing these players to come through and start because of the likes of Michael Keane just aren't good enough, it's infuriating to watch them not get the chance because he's saying, like, give them another week for a bit more fitness, whereas you could probably, and some other managers probably would chance them as well.
At the end of the day, Michael Keane could be 200% fit and won't get any better.
It's so irritating when you look an hour before kickoff and you just see his name and you're just thinking, how is he getting the game week in, week out?
Yeah. But that's going back to that comment about Branthwaite, not having a pre-season. That had nothing whatsoever to do with it. It was simply down to Dyche picking his favourites.
Says he didn't play. He was on the bench, but don't tell me he wasn't training every week at top level in an England camp training. That's still doing what you're doing pre-season, basically. He would have been playing games with these England under-21s who are brilliant players. These kids are amazing, and not that I want to bring him up for doing anything good, but Anthony Gordon had a blinder of a tournament with them. Like, when you're playing with players who start week in, week out in the Premier League, you are obviously going to be picking up enough in training to be better than Michael Keane, surely. Players out of position. I think Garner does well wherever you put him. I do. I don't think he's perfect on the wing, but I think when you've got solid midfielders in there as well, I think Garner's the only one who really majorly plays out of position. I can't think of anybody else who plays massively out of it.
I think at the moment he's fitting square pegs into round holes.
Trying
to get a team put together. When we get the injuries back, we're going to have McNeil on the left, which is a round peg in a round hole. You're going to have Jack Harrison on the right, another round peg, and the team's going to be a lot more balanced once the injuries start coming back. At the moment, he's having to put the likes of Garner in on the right wing because he's got nobody really else to put in there.
Yeah.
Because McNeil's injured, he's had to put Dobbin on the left or Iwobi on the left. So it's not about. He's not doing it on purpose to put people in the wrong positions.
I think he just has to, doesn't he, really? Like, if you can play there, you are going to have to play there.
To cobble some sort of team together.
Yeah. Look, this is an interesting comment by Peter Stamsdale. I'll put it on. A few years ago, this game was massive. We wanted the trophy. Now we're just fighting for existence. And it's a sobering thought. It's a reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really
Like,
is,
I'd
as I
have
say.
loved to be able to sit here and go, we can waste players on a good cup run because we're not getting Europe, but we don't need to worry about the league massively. But now you don't want to risk any of our decent players getting injured in a decent cup run just in case we do.
Because this isn't now about just about like getting mid-table, or between getting mid-table in Europe, the luxury of Europe. It's more survival. Get potentially going down, and staying up. It's a frightening prospect. We're talking about this, and I can't believe we're using the R word 3 games into a season.
Yeah, but
It's sobering thought, that, isn't it?
It is.
3 games into a
saying
season.
today it's a 6-pointer in
The
August.
thing is,
like,
the thing is though, right? 2 of them games have been decent performances.
Yeah, but Wes, I get what you're saying, but performances do not win games. Goals win games.
I think
we
that's the sadder
haven't got
part
any
about
goals.
it, isn't it? Like, we have been playing, like, the Everton I watched play Fulham on that opening game was better than the Everton I watched play Fulham towards the end of last season. We got absolutely turned over by them that game. It was so sad to watch. But it's this: we can't score goals. If you can finish a game if you can draw and keep them all 0-0s, you'll get 38 points. And hopefully
that's not enough.
safe, but that's not exactly. We need these 3 pointers, which is hopefully what this beat tour is going to do. I'm not relying on Calvert-Lewin anymore. I'm just not.
No, I agree. Calvert-Lewin is unfortunately now a luxury. Gone are the days where he's going to play every match. It's simply it's going to be impossible.
The thing is with Calvert-Lewin is that the only consolation about him being injured is it wasn't an old injury.
Yeah.
So the facial injury is going to give him a bit more recovery and on any injury he had on his legs.
Yeah.
It must be heartbreaking for him. It must be to come back and be like finally at peak level fitness, ready to go, ready to prove yourself again, knowing that he does have it like in the bag, he can do it. And then to go out with an injury like that is just a mistake. And he probably did get injured like that, throwing himself at that ball because he wanted to prove a point.
Yeah.
But now we can't rely on someone that is consistently out injured and isn't actually scoring all that many goals when he does finally play for us. We've got to have him, and when we had him and Richarlison and they were both scoring 9-10 goals, that's 20 goals, that's fine. Plus your little extras you get from your midfield and stuff like that. But now we don't have that extra 9 to back up Calvert-Lewin's 9, and that's the problem.
Yeah, totally agree. As I say, we had options in the past, and there's that obviously competitive edge that spurred them on probably as well.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking for the lad, and as I say, but I get the frustration from the fans, obviously, because I'm one of them. You know what I mean? You just want the best, and you want to see him play. I think with Villa, what happened was we didn't see in the away end how bad it was. We didn't know what was going on, to be honest. Obviously, people at home had the luxury of watching it. We didn't, and I'm not, as I say, going to defend the booing per se, but I can understand the frustration and I get it. I totally get it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to sit and say that waited to the end. I didn't. I walked out. I'm not going to lie. At the 60th minute,
didn't wait till the end, man.
No. No.
But
no, 60th minute, I walked out. I couldn't stand it any longer. I felt bad for saying that, but I did. I'm not going to lie.
Our fans, and I can sit there and commend everyone that goes week in, week out and travels up and down this country, pulling money out of nowhere to go and watch this team. And if they're frustrated, they have every right to be frustrated with what they're seeing, because it is expensive. It is like you've got to find money to go and watch them. Sometimes you've got to cut down on other things if you want to go and enjoy yourself doing it, and it's not enjoyable. It's something we all enjoy, and it's not, and that's why we're frustrated more than anything.
I reckon when I go away, I probably put away 100 quid. 100
Yeah.
quid a game, probably easily. You got 30 quid for the ticket, 30 quid for the train, well, that's 60, not including your beers and other stuff and refreshments and just general crap that you just end up buying.
There's no way
So-
you only spent 40 quid on beers.
I'm a good boy now, Wes. Used to do a bottle of vodka before the game.
40 quid
Back
with
in the day.
services, 60 when he gets there.
Yeah.
30 for me ticket and 70 quid on ale.
Yeah, don't tell anyone, Wes. I'm actually going to be really good this. I'm driving, so because I'm finishing work late, so I've got quite literally going from the hotel straight to the game to Donny. So yeah. So should we kind of start wrapping it up then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
So predictions. I'm going to go 3-0 Everton.
1-0 Everton. I don't think we can score more than one goal.
I'm being very optimistic, mind. I'm just being hopeful.
I'm going to go 4-0.
4-0.
4 goals.
I was taking the mick, but that's just taking the piss.
No, because I think that he's going to throw Chimity in, and I think possibly he might throw Beto on at some points. Give him 15, 20 minutes.
Just to give him that chance to have his fitness come up and obviously introduce him to the squad as well.
Right.
That'd be nice.
Mr. Blue Sky says 2-0 Everton, Chimetti and Onana. Kevin Kraft agrees with me, Doncaster 3-0. So,
Thank you. Might even get a goal tomorrow.
You never know. So anyway, obviously we're on at Sky 8 o'clock tomorrow. We'll probably, and so also if you have liked this stream and like the other streams that we do, please look at them, please follow, please like and subscribe. I think that's it. Anything else you wanted to add?
No.
Okay,
that's it. We all go into tomorrow nervous again. We have to watch Everton twice in a week. So God bless you all.
Okay, bear with me. I'm just trying to get the.
Keep an eye out on the deadline day. That's all we can say.
Yeah.
Okay, bear with me. Does anyone want? Go on.
Doncaster 1.
I haven't used this in a while, right? Okay, that's a wrap. Up the toffees.